So we're following this massive solar storm. The fallout could actually reach Earth today. We're talking about possible problems for satellites, power grids, navigation systems such as GPS. Meteorologist Rob Marciano joining us to break it down and explain. It sounds kind of scary.
Yeah, well, we're entering this period of solar activity that's going to be quite active, not just now, but going forward through next year. And the flare that happened Sunday night, and there was one that happened last Thursday, so it's happening quite often. The flare that happened Sunday night was pretty strong, at least the radiation of it was. And just to give you a reminder, when you have a sunspot, it emits a solar flare that has radiation with it. It also has charged particles, so it's a two-pronged event, basically. The radiation gets here a little bit faster. That happened yesterday and last night. Matter of fact, some planes, they don't like to fly over the poles because, one, that messes with the radio communications, and two, the X-rays from this radiation, it's not, you don't want to get zapped with too many X-rays, so some planes were diverted because of that. Now, the charged particle, or this, what we call the coronal mass ejection, CME, travels at 1 million miles an hour. All right, so 93 million miles away. You do the math. It's coming at us right now. So this was not an X flare, thank goodness, but it's very, very close. If this was an X flare, this would be a major event that would trigger wide-scale blackouts. But they think there was an M9 flare, brief radio blackouts possible throughout the day today, and with a G3 type of storm, there might be some power outages in spots, but it's more going to be a G2, G3. Spacecraft, NASA said they were cool with the ISS. They didn't have to do anything terribly drastic with the guys up there. So there's no need for you to go out and buy an iron vest or wear sunglasses today.
Iron Man.
But Aurora Borealis, the northern lights tonight,
right,
could very easily get into the lower 48. So keep an eye out tomorrow in the sky.
Okay, all those astronomers out there. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks a lot, Rob.
Scientists tell us we've been getting hit with an unusual amount of radiation from the sun since last week, one of the biggest solar storms in more than 6 years. We asked Bill Whitaker to look into it.
This is the sun seen from NASA satellites, displayed in vivid colors to enhance the light for scientists. And that right there is the solar flare-up that caught the eye of scientists around the world. Doug Biesecker is monitoring this eruption at the government's Space Weather Prediction Center in Boulder, Colorado.
That was a big flash of light, X-rays and ultraviolet light from the sun. Got here in 8 minutes.
Sunday's massive solar blast spewed a vast cloud of protons, electrons, and atomic particles toward Earth at about 4 million miles per hour. The rush of radiation brushed across the top of our planet. As it passed, it forced some utilities to boost power to compensate for electrical interference. It interfered with some satellite transmissions as well as radio transmissions from planes flying over the North Pole.
GPS isn't quite as accurate as it would normally be today. If you're expecting to fly in an airplane from North America to China tonight over the North Pole, sorry, your flight's going a different way. You're going to be late getting there.
While the technological impact was minimal, the visual impact was, well, take a look. From North America to Norway, all around the top of the Earth, the night sky has been spectacular the past couple of nights, the result of those solar particles colliding with the Earth's magnetic field. And tonight, the northern lights might be seen as far south as Michigan, Montana, and Maine. Bill Whitaker, CBS News, Los Angeles.
That's something.
And we told you last night it would be a banner night for the Northern Lights, and just look at these still photos from Fairbanks, Alaska. An incredible light show, intense colors, all thanks to this solar flare that has sent so much radiation toward our atmosphere. It's already interfered with aviation and communications.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Launch of the first Terrier improved Orion.
Cool. It was a successful mission for NASA this morning from Wallops Island, Virginia. 5 rockets blasted off 80 seconds apart. This happened just around 5 o'clock this morning. The rockets helped scientists test the upper jet stream by looking at the motion of the clouds the rockets make about 60 miles above Earth. The chemical created some abnormal-looking clouds in the skies along the eastern seaboard. Residents from South Carolina all the way to Vermont were expected to be able to see the clouds. I saw them this morning. Yeah, as I was driving in. Yeah. All of a sudden, there's in the sky there appears, they were vertical. And it kind of S-shaped initially, and then they started to slowly disperse. And they were really bright. It was weird, I guess because it was a chemically made cloud. and it freaked me out. At first, I thought I thought it looked like the sky was opening. It was weird.
Yeah.
There were 2 of these trails, and you know, I saw other people looking like, what is that? What is that? And then literally, just as I'm looking, saying, what is that? On the radio, it was like Gilligan's Island. Remember how the radio would respond? On the radio, they said, you may be seeing some weird clouds right now from the rockets.
Then you felt better?
That's very cool.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Not like,
like what's going on?
Right.
Yeah.
So you actually had a close encounters moment there for a second.
It was a little freaky for a couple minutes.
Hey, you mentioned 60 miles. I think it's 60,000 feet.
NASA finally launched rockets to study the upper-level jet stream.
2, 1, 0.
NASA blasted 5 rockets into the air from its Wallops Island facility on the eastern shore of Virginia. The rockets released a chemical into the atmosphere to form white clouds that allowed scientists and the public to visualize the winds. NASA had been trying to launch the rocket since last week, but bad weather delayed the project.
NASA has now launched 5 rockets aimed at studying the jet stream. The rockets blasted off for the Wallops Island Space Center on Virginia's eastern shore. NASA wanted to launch the rockets last week, but had to postpone the launches due to bad weather. The rockets should help scientists understand how the jet stream moves.